Okay, welcome back. It's Tighe with the other part of the button polishing video I'm doing here. And you'll see here is one of the there we go. Here's one of the buttons that's been run through Retro Bright. As you can see, it's not really returned to its original color, but actually it has underneath better. And you'll see once I do some polishing on this. So let's start out with the bezel to the button. What we've got here is just a screw with a washer on it. Just put it in like this. Next step is to put a washer on this end and put a nut on this. Meanwhile, we wait. It takes forever. Alright, now I take my screwdriver. And you want to make sure you tighten this down. You don't want to tighten it so down that you crush anything, but you don't want it to spin off. But you still might with where I have it right now. So I've got, here it is. I'm going to put it into the chuck of my drill. I've got fortunately got a drill that the chuck detaches, which makes it easy to do a lot of things. Wish they still made them like this. You see here I've got the bits that it pull out too, and I can put the chuck right over top of that. It's a great drill. There's a bow stitch I like, but it's a set that comes with one drill for each, and that's not really what I want. But anyway, so we're going to start out with some wet sandpaper here, and this is the roughest one. This is 800 grit. And I got this bucket of water down here. We just dip it in the water. And we're just going to put it like this. You see I've got this? Now, if it was a really messed up button, you could use a heavier grit, but I would not use anything but wet sandpaper. I mean, on some things I've used a real heavy grit like a 60, but you really got to be careful with that. I wouldn't use it on buttons. We're just going to devour them. Let's take a look here. Alright, so there's still some staining on here. I just want to sand this some more still. Sometimes you might want to run it in reverse a little bit. You see, I'm only sanding the outside part of this bezel. It's the only part that really needs any kind of sanding on it. And we're already starting to see, we're already starting to see this color is showing through now. We just got to get up in this area. I don't even have the paper down there. Click back this direction. So it still has that little bit of green tinge on there. I don't want to take too much off of this button though. So here's where some 600 grit would be good. I don't think I have any though. 2,000 grit. I mean 1,000 grit here. You can see it's still, now it's got a dull but smooth finish to it. This hasn't moved. I just moved it. Okay. Okay, so now we've got a piece of 2,000 grit right here. Now, if you're doing like a joystick button, a joystick ball top, you might want to use 150. Start it with 150 grit to take some of the garbage off of it. And another thing to remember is that you can't do this with every button that's out there. Some are made of a softer plastic that will just melt when you try to sand it, but these Nintendo buttons can be polished like this. Okay, so there it is right there. I'm a little upset that it didn't come out as blue as I'd like it. It's still got a green tinge to it, and but I don't want to take a lot of plastic off of this button. I'll polish a little bit more. We'll see what happens after the after I use wax on it. Alright, that's it for that. Now we're going to move on to rubbing compound, which this doesn't look like the right. Alright, well, this is the turtle wax rubbing compound I use, and I have another container of it. There's only a tiny bit left here, it's all dried up, but it'll work. I don't want to go searching for it right now. So here's the cloth I've used like a bajillion times to do this. And all you have to do is get it wet. Let's put it in here. Now this is like, think of it like wax, but it has much more abrasive than regular wax, so you got to be careful with it. Hey, you can see my surgery on my left hand there. As you can see, it's doing pretty good. Oh, there we go. The color's coming back. Cleaner wax is what does it. You can see right now it's already becoming blue again. The rubbing compound, I should say. Actually, this is the rubbing compound. turn that up. Okay. Now, last step. We've got McGuire's cleaner wax. Just take some on the pad. Nice amount. A little bit of my shirt there. Okay. So now this is a microfiber cloth. You just gotta be careful with these because they will. You don't want to run it too fast because it'll melt with the plastic. You see that shine coming on that right now? You see right there. Ooh, get up close. There's a nice shine to that. Although the color isn't as good as I would like it, but it looks a heck of a lot better than it did before. So you have to decide whether you want to polish out take off that upper layer of oxidation, which the Retrobrite does to some extent, or if you want to keep it close to its original tolerances, because you're going to sand too much off if you keep going at it. I don't want to do that on this. So let's take this out. Just to show you again. Oops. There we go. It's got a crazy shine on it now. It looks really good. See, after sanding, it's a little scary, but as you can see, all that comes out with the rubbing compound and cleaning wax, cleaner wax, I should say. Okay. Now we don't want to waste this rubbing compound here, so we're going to get it back on the cloth. At least we don't want to waste all of it. Now this discoloration really depends on the button. Some of these buttons are in a lot better shape than others, and this oxidation that you'll see is just on the very surface. Others, it's a lot deeper into the plastic. So it really just depends on your luck on that particular button when you're doing it. But still, it looks a heck of a lot better than it did before. And if you didn't have it sit next to some other Nintendo buttons, you wouldn't tell that it's actually a little bit darker than it was originally. Okay. So you can see here's we're kind of like where we started out, or we can look at another one here. So you can see the difference after polishing. This one has not been polished at all, or even sanded or anything. So this is what the other one looked like when we started. And here's the aftermath of it. You can see it's a huge difference right there. You could put the plunger back in. You can see that this one, the plunger's all still a mess. And that's what we'll do in the next part of the videos. We're going to do the plunger, which is essentially the same thing, but I have other things to do now, so we're going to stop.